Hello. Today we're going to be building a digital worker or an AI agent from the examples that OpenAI is putting out. I haven't done this before in particular, haven't used this particular methodology, so it will be very much a work in progress, like I'm doing this for the first time here. I have already collected the example that I want to go through. It was very recently, just a few days ago, released by OpenAI. They're calling it the real-time voice agent, and it's hosted in GitHub. So let's explore together. It says this is a simple demonstration of more advanced agentic patterns built on top of the real-time API. The real-time API from OpenAI is one that like answers almost immediately to new requests. So let's see what we have here. It says this is a simple demonstration of more advanced agentic patterns. In particular, this demonstrates 1. Sequential agent handoffs according to the defined agent graph, taking inspiration from OpenAI Swarm. OpenAI Swarm is one framework of agents, like we have seen some other frameworks that allow you to give you some patterns or some guidance on how you should structure your agents. OpenAI Swarm has not been as powerful or as popular as some of the other frameworks like LangGraph or Autogen. Reason being is I believe that they didn't put it out with the intention of taking over the landscape, but rather provide some educational examples. And when they mean agent, when they say agent hands-offs, what it means is how one agent invokes another agent and how one agent knows what is their expertise and what is the other agent's expertise and how they sort of divide and conquer the effort. It says background escalation to more intelligent models like O1 Mini for high stakes decisions. So not only is going to move tasks between one agent and the other, but also between models within an agent, supposedly. So that's interesting. And then it's going to be prompting models to follow a state machine. So basically, it's going to have some persistence, and that sort of persistence is going to be passed on from one agent to the other. And it says that it's going to be used to collect things like names and phone numbers with confirmation character by character to authenticate the user. Okay. You should be able to use this repo to prototype your own multi-agent real-time voice app in less than 20 minutes. Okay, so let's take that as a goal. Let's see the example here. Let's see what the example tells us about this. So we're going to be opening in localhost. So right from our machine. Supposedly we're going to be able to select some scenarios and some agents. Then it takes the form of a chat. Some agent greets us, the greeter. Then we respond, and then it's going to transfer to a different agent. There's another agent which is called Haiku. And this is the one that is going to, in the example, create a haiku for us. And then take that. It has push to talk, audio playback, and log. So it seems like it's a chat, and it seems like it's basically handing over from a greeter to a haiku agent. Okay, let's see what we have. In terms of setup, this is a Next.js TypeScript app. We first install the dependencies, we add our OpenAI AP key, we start the server, then we open the browser. Then there's a simple example TS, that's the TypeScript that we were being referred to. It's commented, so we know where to add the context, for example, and we know where to add the instructions. It says this fully specified the agent set that was used in the interaction zone in the above. Okay, so basically this code will give us the result from the above. Next, we will be checking the agent config. Then we're going to have one file or one program that is going to guide the user through a step-by-step authentication. It says something here about the second agent is intentionally bored to show how to prompt for personality and tone. I don't really know what that means. We'll be finding out. And then we have another one, which is customer service retail, which also has an authentication flow. And then it's going to read like a predefined script. And then it's going to be using O1 Mini, like a more powerful LLM, to ensure that the return is eligible. Okay. Then it says that we could copy this and uh, create our own multi-agent voice app. And then once we make that, we add it to index.tx. And we should be able to select it from the UI. Remember the UI. The UI was this one. Select the scenario we select here. So supposedly we can create multiple scenarios. And now I understand that this one simple example is the scenario 1. From this authentication is a scenario 2, and customer service retail is going to be the scenario 3, and then we can create our own scenarios. And then in order to define tools and logic, we're going to be looking at this file. To do the detailed personality, we're going to be, this is referring us to examples in the previous scenarios. It's telling us where to look for specific things. And then if you want help creating your own prompt using these conventions, we've included a meta prompt here. So there seems to be a meta prompt here. And it says paste this entire file directly in ChatGPT, adding your own context to the first 2 sections. So this supposedly is going to help us create like a new one. And then, or we can use the voice agent meta prompter GPT. Let's see what that is. Voice agent meta prompt GPT. So basically, this is like a custom GPT that has been created by OpenAI, that if we talk to this one, it will supposedly help us create like new scenarios. Then the UI, we can select the scenario in the drop down, and then also select the agent within a scenario in the agent drop down. The conversation transcript is on the left, including all the calls and everything. We can click to expand anything that is not a message. And the event log is on the right. I don't recall seeing that, but the event log is on the right, showing both client and server events. Click to see the full payload. And on the bottom, we can disconnect, toggle between, turn off audio playback, and toggle logs. I don't know what this is, that we can automate voice activity detection, or PTT. I don't know what PTT is, but I guess we'll figure out. Okay, so it's clear. It's clear. It's a UI for which 3 example scenarios are provided, and then some guide to create additional scenarios is also provided. So I guess as a first step, what I'm going to do is I'm going to fork this. No, I'm going to create my own copy of this one. I'm going to fork it. I'm going to create that fork. I believe that anytime that we create the fork is public by default, and it cannot be made private. We don't need it though. It's fine. So now we're going to go here, code, and I'm particularly fond of this methodology, which is using code spaces, which is basically an environment to code directly on the web provided by GitHub. So I'm going to go ahead and create that. It's going to take a minute to set up. So while it does, I'm going to tell you what are some of the benefits that I see with using one of these code spaces. It comes with a cost, yes, but you do get quite a generous free offering. By the way, this is not sponsoring or anything. I'm not connected to GitHub or code spaces in any way. It's 120 hours per month that is free, and then I don't know how much it costs, because I just, for the first time, I passed the 120 hours. And then it gives you on the web one full instance of one computer, which is on the cloud, which is a Linux computer. And so you don't feel the risk of like breaking anything on your computer, because everything is on the cloud. You can open it anytime, you can pause it anytime, so that it's not consuming time from your allocation. And then what else? So it's using VS Code, which is that software that you typically download on your computer, but this one is on the web, and it's not lacking any functionality that I know of. You can install add-ons and extensions just like you do with VS Code on desktop. I have disabled GitHub Copilot because I don't like some of the interactions that it has, and I was not able to disable some of those, so I just disabled it completely. So that's why you don't see it, but it's not because it's not available. It is available, so you can get Copilot here. So what you can see that it's going on is that it's detected that it needed to build something and it has already started building it. So we're going to give it some time, and once that's done, we're going to jump ahead and follow the steps in here. Let's read those. So the first one that we needed to do is npm I. So right now it's doing npm run build, and we're going to wait for that to finish. While it does that, because I see that the second step is add your OpenAI API key to your environment, I'm going to already do that. I'm going to already start retrieving my OpenAI API key. So the website is the platform.openai.com, and then we go to API keys, and then this one I always like giving it the same name as the repo, so it's OpenAI real-time agents. So I'm going to call it like that, OpenAI real-time agents. I will be deleting this API key after posting the video, obviously. So here we have our API key for this project. And now it says finish configuring code space, press any key to exit. I pressed that and just pressed enter. And now we're going to do that. We're going to follow the steps. It says install dependencies with npm I. So npm I hit enter, and it says up to date, audited, it seems to be done. Okay. Add your OpenAI API key to your environment. Let me see if we have something for environment here. We don't have anything for environment, and so the way to do when that happens is we do export, and then we call that out. We say OpenAI API key equals, then our API key from here, we paste, and then we hit enter, and like that, I believe that what we have done is that we have configured that API key to the environment. And now we're going to start the server with npm run dev. So just like that, npm run dev, I hit enter, and it's doing its thing. I'm not too sure if it has finished. I sense from this thingy in the terminal that it has not. Let me see. The next thing that we would be doing is opening localhost 3000. So I'm going to do one thing. Because we're doing this in this environment, which is called Spaces, which is a cloud environment. We need to go here to ports, and then this port, the 3000, it's been forwarded. So we cannot, it's not in our computer. It's on some other computer, but it's been forwarded to a specific URL. And then if I click here, it's connecting to that port, which is in some other computer, but I'm connecting from mine. It's quite easy. So it's just the first time that you do it. It's a bit unusual. So now it seems that I have my UI here. It's nice. Like it's let me allow the microphone. It's nice looking. So it looks a lot like the UI in OpenAI. You cannot hear it because you don't have my computer audio, but it's it's speaking. So I'm going to pause it because otherwise it's going to be a bit messy. Okay, I disconnected for a second. Let's take a second to understand what we have in front of us. So real-time API agents, it's very cool to see agents for the first time, well, from one of the first time from OpenAI. Like this is an exciting moment. We see a dropdown for scenarios as we projected. We're seeing the simple one, the customer service, and the front desk authentication. And then within the simple, we have two, the haiku and the greeter. Then now I make a bit more sense of what we were reading earlier when we were in the README and we were seeing something. Remember that I said the event log is on the right, and I had not seen that in the image, but now that we're in the actual UI, I see the event log is on the right. So basically, every single thing that happens, every minute thing that happens it's here. So for example, when I disconnected, or when there was a piece of the conversation, the transcript is in here, the event ID. So probably every single event has an ID and everything. So this is to go like really, really in detail. If I untap this for logs, you see that that goes away and we can focus a bit more on the interaction part. So you see that it has audio playback. So I sense that I'm not going to be able to turn that down, but just know that whenever this guy is talking here, I'm hearing a voice. It's a feminine voice. I think it's one of the default voice from OpenAI. I cannot choose the voice, it seems, but just so that you know that that's what's going on. Um, then what else do we need to pay attention to? If we hit copy, um, let me see what copy is that. If I hit copy, oh, it's copy. It's copying like the chat, all the chat. Let me see if I have any way of restarting, restarting this. Or I don't think this is related to ChatGPT. This is, I believe, from any TypeScript project. So I'm going to close that. No distractions there. Um, and now I'm just going to connect it again, and I'm going to follow one example, like one of these simple example of the haiku, and I'm going to do it by voice because I believe that it's by voice. And I'm going to connect this option, which is push to talk, just so that I can control a bit more between when I'm talking to the agent and when I'm talking to you. Okay, so you will see me that I'm pushing when I want to talk to the agent. So let me connect. Yes, please write me a haiku about OpenAI agents. Okay, so we did it. Let's see a bit the background, or let's first see what happened there. So in this session, it asked me, "Hello, would you like a haiku today?" And then I think I said yes, but then it nevertheless it transferred me. So it did a function which is transfer agents, and it gave me the destination agent haiku. And then that there is another event which is the transfer to. So basically, transfer from the greeter, which is the one that says hello, how are you, to the one that is the haiku agent. And then uh, the instruction for this one is ask the user for a topic, then reply with a haiku about that topic. And then therefore it asked me, hello again, please give me a topic and I'll create a haiku for you. Then that's when I said yes again, because it was super fast. That's why. And then it said, great, what topic would you like the haiku to be about? And then I said, please create me a haiku about OpenAI agents. And then I got this, just like a little haiku. And then what I noticed is that for all these interactions, because I didn't change the agent, it was all the time the haiku agent. There was nothing going on here on the left. It was just the haiku agent. So now if we go to the logs, we can look at it in even more detail. We can see, let's see if we can find the part in which the agent was transferred. So here we created a conversation item, audio transcript. It's so detailed that it's a bit hard to find where it was transferred. But I'm sure we will. Here we have another reference of PDT, which is where I don't know what it is. Hmm. I wish I could clear this to start from the beginning. Let me see if by just refreshing the site I can do that. Yes, please give me a haiku. I'm going to disconnect right there just because the interaction was very simple. Just to see if I can identify this. By the way, refreshing it, restarted it. I'm just going to see if I can identify when the transfer from one agent to the other happened, because I think that's the most interesting piece. So a session was created. Respond output item. See, this one says transfer agents. I think this is when it happened. This event of this one function called transfer agents happened here. There's many events. That's why what makes it easy to dig into. But definitely it happened there. Also the times could be a bit of a help there, because this is 5:54:15 and this is also 5:54:15, and this is where it happened. This is the transfer agent. This is the event. Okay, so this first scenario is quite simple. Is you get a greeter, says hi, then asks you if you want a haiku. Then if you do want a haiku, it sends you to the haiku agent. Let's just push it to the limit a bit now, saying I don't want a haiku. Let's see, because it shouldn't pass me to the haiku agent if I don't want a haiku. I'm going to restart and I'm going to do that. No, not today, thank you. I don't want a haiku today. So that was successful in my view, because we said that we don't want the haiku and it did not do the transfer to the haiku agent. Good. Now let's restart and choose like the other example. So we had this customer service retail. I'm going to choose that one. It talked, so I'm going to respond. Hey, I want to return a snowboard that I purchased from you and I don't want it. That was super fast. I don't know if you noticed, but basically it was super fast. Right after I was done talking, it answered like immediately. That was fantastic. My name is Pablo. Thank you. Yeah, it's 123 123 123. That's correct. It's super fast. January 20th, 1998. That's not correct. It's 5370 for the credit card. Yes. Okay. I notice now that it's doing a couple calls. Authenticate user information and authenticate user information. Second one. What's going on here? Okay. So now it knows the inputs that I have given here, and it says result true, response done. Oh, rate limit exceeded. Rate limit reached for GPT for all real time in organization. So this is my fault. So basically, I don't have like like a super high level tier of access to OpenAI. So we're going to need to cut it right there. I'll come at a later time and we will complete this. But the takeaway is that it's super fast. It's truly fast. I've never experienced probably like something as fast as this, not even with 11 labs or something like that. So we're going to come back at a later time. We're going to do this example and the other one that we had left. And also I'm going to enable it so that you listen also to the audio coming from this, because it's quite cool. Thank you for now.